Alright, what is up, you guys? It is Major Blood Fox, and today's video is about 10 changes I would like to see in Genshin Impact. Before we get started, I just want to say that I do realize that it's still a brand new game. These are just things I would like to eventually possibly see, and I'm not claiming to have all the answers. This is just my opinions. So, without further ado, let's get into it. So, number one, the resin system. I am pretty sure that most players are aware that this is kind of a big concern, because most bosses or whatever you're trying to do in the later stages, I would say like maybe 30 to adventure rank 35 plus, like it can be a little disheartening because most things take up about 40 resin and you only have a cap of 120, and so something needs to be done, right? Like, I think like maybe there should be at least like an increase with world rank. um that's just my opinion. I'm not necessarily sure how much it would help, but I think it would at least do something. Because you log in and you do your daily commissions, right? And then there's not really much to do other than like the bosses, and you can do like maybe, what is it, 3 bosses, and then your resin's gone. And let's say you don't have any fragile resin, and yeah, it's kind of an issue. Alright, so number 2 is more character variation. Uh, what I mean by that is like, take like magic user characters, catalyst user characters. So like Lisa and Sucrose, even though they're different elements, they sort of play the same, right? Like Lisa, Sucrose, and Barbara, they sort of like have a similar play style. And like I said earlier in the video, I realize it's the very early stages of the game. But it can be a little bland at times. I know that Mona is a little different from Catalyst users, but let's be realistic. Mona is a 5-star character, and most players are free to play. Like, not a lot of people have thousands of dollars to pour into this game like most content creators. And it can be a bit rough on obtaining 5-star characters. I know that there's more variation coming. Let's take like Child, for example. He seems really cool. Like, most of his hits look like they deal elemental damage, being Hydro, with some of his basic attacks. But the thing that's cool is that he's, for the most part, he's like a hybrid character. Like, he can do ranged and melee attack. So that's like a really cool variation. And that's sort of what I mean, is like maybe we could get like more characters like that switch it up, that aren't really similar to other characters, that makes them stand out and actually be unique. And it would feel a lot more rewarding when you obtain them. So that would be awesome to see. Number 3 is more side quests. So I don't know if I'm just like possibly an idiot or something, but there's not much to do 35 plus in terms of like side quests. Like I don't know if like I'm just not finding them or what, but I feel like I've done most of them. Like daily commissions don't really count as side quests because that's something you log in to do every single day, and it takes like 10, 10 minutes. It goes by very quickly. And so essentially you're just logging into the game to play it for like 20 minutes, and then there's like nothing left to do after you do your daily commissions and world bosses. So maybe it's asking a lot, but like to have an abundance of side quests would go a long way. But who knows? Number 4 is loot and chest interaction in co-op. So I know that like in co-op you can do bosses with your buddy, and you both can obtain loot by spending resin. However, you can't like loot chests in their world, and I understand that it could like be a problem, but at least let them obtain items from the chests. Like they don't have to obtain experience if it isn't their world. Just being able to like open them and receive items on their end would be pretty cool, I think. I don't know if that's something that can possibly be done, and that's why they haven't done it, or, you know. But if they can work that in eventually at some point, that would be really awesome. Because, like, I was playing co-op with a buddy of mine a few nights ago, and, like, he was able to open chests because it was his world, right? But the fact that I couldn't, like, open chests that, like, reward me in terms of items, like, I understand that it'd be a little bit of cheesing if you were to obtain experience from it. I don't really care about that, but, like, to at least get, like, items, it's... Co-op is in an interesting spot right now, and I feel like there's less incentive to do it than there is. Just because it's not rewarding. I mean, like, other than like being able to do things with your friends, but even then that is limited. Like you can't do much, let's be honest. So yeah, if they could like work something into co-op and make it a little more fluid and more rewarding and more eventful to do, I think that it would really help Genshin a lot. Okay, so segueing into number 5, more things to do. So, like, I've probably said this like 3 or 4 times now, but you log into the game and you do your daily commissions, and then you do your bosses, and then, like, what is there to do? Like, the respawn rate on the chests is a bit horrendous, and there's essentially, like, there's nothing to do. So, like, if they were to somehow, like, fill that void, it would really help a lot. Like, doesn't have to be anything extravagant, but, like, maybe they could put in, like, mini games to do, or just just something, you know, to like fill the time for people that like want to spend hours on this game. Like at least have there be like things to do. um I know that it is a gacha game, and at the core of a gacha game, it's not meant to be played for hours on end, but like at the same time, like why can't it be? Like in terms of progression, I understand that there needs to be some moderation, but um like why can't we just log on to Genshin and like, you know, just hang out and do things for fun? Like that's partially the point, at least I think, right? Is for this game to be fun, and it's been pretty successful. Like I'm not trying to like talk crap on the game or anything. They have been very successful out of most gacha games that I have seen, and it just would be a shame to see it die. Alright, so number 6, the respawn time on certain materials. So let's take Beto for example, and maybe I just haven't found like a bunch of spots for the Jadeite ore. But the daily spots that I farm, sometimes I feel like it takes like 2 days for them to show up again. It's kind of gross. It kind of makes like getting these materials for character ascension a little rough. And like we can even use Chi-Chi for example. Some of Chi-Chi's ascension materials require that you get violet grass, and those only grow on like the side of cliffs in Leeway. However, like finding these things is, oh man, it's kind of a pain. And maybe I just haven't found like a good spot or something, but that seems to be how it is, at least for me so far. It's kind of been really difficult to find them. Yeah, so out of like everyone on my team, Chi-Chi is the most behind because of that fact. Because I guess there's the interactive world map that you could use to find the violet grass, but even then, like, it's not 100% guaranteed. At least from my experience with the interactive world map. I've gone to some spots where it claimed to have violet grass there, but I didn't see any at all. And so yeah, I'm not too sure on that. Moving on to number 7, more ways to obtain fragile resin. This is sort of important, and I don't know if they'll actually do it, but having more ways to obtain fragile resin so you can continue to do more bosses or grind for materials that you need, like leveling your character's talents or things like that. Fragile resin being more accessible would help a lot. So moving on to number 8, this is more of a just more aesthetic, I guess. I mean, it's not absolutely essential, but eventually in time it would be cool to see characters get more outfits. Personally, I am not a fan of Venti's outfit, and I would like him to be wearing something else. Like, I understand that he's a bard and stuff, but still, just having the option would be nice. Yeah, I think it would be cool for a lot of the characters to have different outfits, just to switch it up every now and then, you know. 9, this is kind of a big one, and I don't I don't think that they will actually do it, but still would be kind of cool to see. And that is a world chat. I'm not exactly sure how they would go about doing it, but it would help in terms of co-op and interaction a lot more. Players would be able to talk to each other, plan things that they want to do, make more friends. It's just an easier way um, for co-op to be a bit more successful and a bit more fun. Yeah, moving on to number 10, the last change, and I guess it's not really a change, but it's to have Genshin succeed. Now, despite all of these things that I've talked about, I really would like to see Genshin succeed. It has a lot of potential, but the way that it currently is, it could die. Like, even with patch 1.1 and with the things that it brings, if they don't address some of these issues, the game potentially could die. The resin system, it's kind of bad. It's a huge thing. Like, who actually wants to like log into a game that looks this great and plays this well just to play it for like 20 minutes? It seems like such a waste. Yeah, I don't know if any of you agree with some of these things that I've brought up, or if you have different opinions. I'd like to see you place them down in the comment section below. Let's talk about it. If you liked this video, please consider subscribing and clicking the bell notification and setting them to all. And if you guys like to watch Twitch, you can catch me over on Twitch, usually streaming on weekends, usually around 12 p.m. Mountain Standard Time or 10 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Yeah, that's it for this video, you guys, and thanks for watching, and I'll catch you later.